Thank you so much for choosing the National Broadcaster. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you. Today is the second day of November 2022, and this is a lunchtime news. Our newsroom has been working around the clock to bring you these very updates that I'm here to serve you. And we're coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. Now, to start off this newscast, we're taking a look at President Yoweri Museveni, who has met Kampala Capital City Authority leaders and some of the market representatives over the leadership and the management of markets in Kampala and the metropolitan areas. Now, during the meeting at State House Nakasero, the president guided that the markets should be owned and managed by the low-income earners. The meeting follows the president's directive on harmonizing issues affecting the common people in the informal sector in Kampala and surrounding areas. President Museveni also suggested to KCCA to have 2 government-owned markets and tax parks in Kampala division.
Abana Kampala mbayise kigambo ky'obutale kigambo ky'abanaku sisi butale kati obutale si bwa bizinesi y'abagagga tebusobola kuba bwa bizinesi y'abagagga era kiswaza kubanga Kampala ebitundu by'abagagga bingi kororo y'abagagga Kampala road eyo yonna omugagga ayagala kukola bw'aba ayagala kuba ko kyakola agenda eyo mu ebifo byebisinga obungi naye obufo buno obutono gavumenti bwe yasigaza kyetaaga nti abanaku beba bakolera mu bokka. If you say that you have given the market to private developers, that means you have undermined the Wanaku in 2 ways. First of all, they will now have to pay higher costs. Pay higher okubasera. So that one cannot work. They are not. It's not possible. It should be out. Should not be considered at all. Then, if you say, akatale nkawadde abaliwo vendors abali mukati. How about the ones who will come in future? So mwe ng'abantu abalowoleza ensi yammwe mulowooza nti kituufu tubeereko n'ebifo abantu ab'ennyingiza ennyimpi kwe bakolera oba tukireke.
Bw'owandiika ebbaluwa n'owandiikira mukyala Kabanda nga olaga biwafuna ennaku z'omwezi 29 ate n'omuwa n'ebiragiro. Ebiragiro bino ebimu ebisinga bikoleddwako.
Naye ekizibu kyonna ekiri mu kino Your Excellency ku butale buno 16 oba 17 gavumenti weeyimirira n'obuuzo wa KCC nti butale bumeka bwe tulina obwaffe Your Excellency buli buna bwokka.
Why?
Anti obwe tulinako ettaka ekyokubiri bwe tulinako fulent emidaala gyonna insider owned by KCCA, but the rest of the markets we have the land, yes, but they are developed by individual vendors.
In other updates of the day, Parliament wants a comprehensive report on the resource utilization by Uganda police forces as per the budget allocation. This follows a series of queries on Uganda police forces over increasing criminality in the country, looking at the recent attack on a police station in Bosika found in Lowero district. Parliament was returning from a 1-month recess.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Annette Among, chaired the session of Parliament after a long recess where members had been tasked to monitor the operations of the parish development model in their respective constituencies. Speaker Anita Among informed the members of Parliament of two bills which were returned to Parliament by President Yoweri Museveni, including the Parliamentary Pension Amendment Bill 2022 and the Public Health Amendment Bill 2022, respectively. In a letter dated 13th October 2022, President Yoweri Museveni, based on advice by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, to return the Parliamentary Pension Amendment Bill 2022 with a consideration to revise on the assessment of financial implication.
Did not include the amendment of increase of the contribution to the government fund from 30 to 40.
The Kira Municipality Member of Parliament, Semu Junganda, has questioned why ministers keep advising Parliament while processing bills, but rather wait to inform President on changes.
Because bills after one another, they are being returned. The traffic now.
Parliament has condemned the Monday night attack on a police post in Busika, Luwero district, which claimed lives of two police officers. The deadly attacks raised lots of questions on the resources allocated to Uganda police forces. There are claims that police has limited patrol vehicles which hinder its operations to fight criminality.
After going to Minister of Finance, they will not receive the funds. So the police remain stuck and completely stranded in performing their mandate of keeping law and order.
The MPs wants a comprehensive report on the utilization of resources allocated to Uganda police forces, especially the funds approved to purchase surveillance cameras.
How many were bought? Where are they allocated? How much was spent? Who were the suppliers? So that we know that it was done.
This house and appropriated, but you remember the first quarter across government we suffered shortfalls.
Kampala Central Member of Parliament Muhammad Nsereko tipped government to embrace modern technology in fighting crimes, including digital tracking of guns, installing facial recognition cameras, among others.
But if we embed sensors using embedded systems within the guns, if you kill a police officer and run away with the gun, at real time we don't even need a roadblock. We shall be able to see it by GPS where you've moved this gun, and we shall be able to apprehend you. Now you can see the role of technology transformation in how we can work on our day-to-day security. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, the re-registration to capture all biometrics, whether the eyes and the fingerprints, and the question should be, where is the data that we gave to NIRA?
Government will borrow about $464.13 million from Standard Chartered Bank and other finance institutions to finance the development and infrastructure budget for financial year 2022-2023. This is part of the approved budget of 48.1 trillion passed for the current financial year 2022-2023. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Now, relatedly on the same conversation, so far, police has leads to the assailants that attacked Pusika police post, where two officers were shot dead and two guns stolen. Ivan Kawa reports that special teams remain on ground to investigate the matter.
Uganda Police Force is investigating unknown assailants who attacked Busika Police Station and killed two police officers on 31st October 2022. The station is located at a busy spot where many locals were present at the time the police post was attacked. Eyewitnesses say the attackers masked their faces during the attack, while police preliminary findings indicate that the assailants were 7.
They managed to kill 2 of our staff, that is Inspector Wagaruka and PC Ogol. And in the same process, 2 of our other staff were injured. They are undergoing treatment at Mulago Hospital, and also one other woman who is a civilian was injured during that shootout.
Kekanga tosobola bategeera. Naye nga abamu batambula bagaludde n'emmundu, abamu nga badda kyennyuma abalala batambula batunula mu maaso. Okulaba ani ali amabega, ani ali mu maaso.
Salabye face ya muntu wabula nalabye omuvubuka yabadde ambadde ovolo ya black yabadde akuba amasasi wabula sasobodde mulaba ku face ku lw'entiisa yabaddewo.
Police calls for calm among the local community as it handles the matter.
Look like
we have the capacity to respond to any sort of crime. However, some of these attacks are surprise attacks. Like this, in case it was a surprise attack, so the reaction was really not to the satisfaction.
2 guns belonging to the officers were taken by assailants, but nothing was taken from the neighborhood.
Omuntu gy'omu yagambye wa mobile money galawo naye ng'omuntu gy'oli tasobola tegeerekeka yabadde yeesabise. N'agamba galawo yingiza na bano banno yagala bafiire ebweru nga tebasobola tegeerekeka mu maaso. Naye obulumbaganyo obwo kigambibwa bwabadde tebuzze kukosa muntu, bwabadde bulumbye poliisi kugibbako mundu.
Okwogerako okwo kyogamba abatujju bano babadde bakozesa lulimi Luganda.
Abatujju babadde bakozesa lulimi Luganda.
Uganda Police Force confirms that it has gotten leads using CCTV cameras to track down criminals who shot dead 2 police officers at Busika Police Station.
And we have already had some evidence. We assure the public that very soon we shall have to arrest these people. I would like to urge the local communities to remain vigilant and let them not lose hope. Very soon the police station is going to be reopened.
At least 4 police posts have been attacked since the year began, 6 police officers killed, guns robbed in a similar manner. The attacks are attributed to the Uganda Coalition for Change Rebels group, whose ringleader, Semogerere Frank David, was charged in the General Court Martial. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News, in Busika.
Now moving on, business in the Kampala Business Centre is normal, although operators seem reluctant over the Ebola prevention measures. Now UBC TV was at some of the busy places within Kampala that include markets, taxi parks and the business centre commonly known as Chikobo to assess compliance to Ebola control.
We urge the Ministry of Health to come and give people more education about Ebola.
Although the deadly Ebola virus disease has hit Kampala district, at Nakasero market, the hand-washing machine is in place, as although people are still reluctant to wear face masks. Enforcement for the public also seems relaxed. The Public Relations Officer of the market, Mlata Ali, says a few things have been put in place to maintain the standard operating procedures.
Ensonga ezo tufuba nnyo okulaba nti twewala omugalo guleme kujja nga tuyita mu kubiriza abantu baffe beekuume obulwadde buno.
At the Old Tax Park, the enforcement team is encouraging the public to wash hands before accessing the park. They urged government to provide them with face masks to be able to prevent the spread of the virus.
Tusaba government yetu yambi amazzi gagano makalu tumulisa mpuni twagala abantu bayiko kunaba mu ngalo balina teziriwo mask abantu badde balowooza nti obulwadde bwabwo bwakendera naye kamwa koogera sigina ku budde buno.
We had Ebola in 2000 and it affected Ugandans so much, more especially in the districts of Gulu, Luero and Imbarara, where we lost so many doctors like Dr. Lukuya. But government never thought about lockdown. They used as a measures to stop the spread of Ebola.
At the main business center, commonly known as Chikubo, the hand-washing equipment was there, but unutilized by the public. Wearing of face masks in the business center seems to have stopped, as business seems usual despite the escalating cases of Ebola virus disease.
All people from Kampala and the surrounding areas to take caution and precaution to make sure that we don't encourage more spreading of Ebola.
Jane Ramchia reporting for UBC.
In other updates of the day, the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, has appealed to learners to utilize their laboratories, libraries and their teachers to acquire sufficient knowledge for a better future. Tumwebaze was officiating a fundraising drive for Nombe Secondary School, Kashara Sub-County, Barara District for construction of Information and Communication, a technology center in the school. Over 70 million Uganda shillings was raised in cash and pledges at the function.
Most importantly, this is where my journey started of education. I was here in the year 1990. I did here my S1. It was a much worse school then. No laboratory, no library. We depended on what the teachers gave us to write down from their heads. I studied math, physics and chemistry. Given my background did not in any way limit my capacity. So really, my appeal to the young children in these schools, do not feel that you're second-class students. You now have the same facilities. Internet is here, electricity is here. We never had these utilities. We studied under extreme hardship, but we were able to make it.
Those that have schools that are church-founded, whether Catholic Church, whether Protestant Church, whether Muslim, mosques, ensure that they are also developing schools.
We have achieved more than half the journey of promoting sciences in Nombe Secondary School, because already sciences are being taught, but we have come from an angle of information technology. When you combine it with the natural sciences, then you develop the real scientists that will drive this country forward in the future.
At Nombe Secondary School, this structure will contain computers and other equipment that will help us when we are teaching ICT in class. Majorly, we are going to construct this structure because with the new curriculum, this ICT is very critical, for example, in teaching and learning.
With this era of technology enhancement, we expect every Ugandan to be knowing computer. So gone are the days of PO box. We are now in the digital world, and I want to appreciate the leaders of Mbarara, of Nombe Secondary School, for having come up with this idea of having a computer in place.
I support them. Those people cannot afford to go to senior 5 and 6. They can come and accommodate them. Because I was telling them, the end justifies the means. When you come to our institute, after 6 years you have a degree. Because after a certificate, you come for 2 years, a diploma, then you go to university 2 years, you get a degree.
Appreciate the president for UPE and USE functions in these schools. He is very appreciative because schools have been constructed and several Ugandan children have joined schools and gained in education. The number of teachers in these schools are not enough.
In other developments of the day, the Archbishop of Gulu Diocese, His Grace John Baptist Odama, has cautioned the locals against too much drinking, while commissioning St. Jude and St. Domitilla Chapel in Lukwiri, Opit Parish, Omoro District. Odama noted that the level of alcohol consumption in Acholi region is worrying. He said the residents have resorted to consuming marijuana on top of the local illicit brew. He said this type of drinking is dangerous and will wipe them out. Archbishop Odama hailed Professor Emmanuel Odongo Anginya for constructing a chapel that will help many residents in Lukwiri community to get closer to God. Professor Emmanuel Odongo Anginya, who is head of microbiology at the Gulu University, said he had decided to construct the chapel as his gift for God's blessing to his family. Now we'll take a very short break. When I return, more developments of the day. Keep watching UBC.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77 hash or use the Momo app to register. Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
Welcome back. We're still coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. Now, updates from the business world this lovely day. We're looking at Rock Telecom staff they've donated food and other relief items to children of Crystal Children's Center, Seguko in Entebbe. Over 40 vulnerable children are being looked after at this Crystal Children's Center through their corporate social responsibility platform. Rock Telecom donated food and non-food items to the children's home.
So we have done some baby mattresses, we have done toilet paper, we have done pampers, we have done food, rice, posho. We have done a freezer because they've told us they had a problem of their milk going bad from time to time, and the fridge that they had was very small. So we brought them a freezer so that they could rectify that problem. We have also brought them Irish so that because a big problem of this home, the children are brought when most of them are malnourished. So a balanced diet is very important. So we have tried to bring a variety of foods to try to support in that way.
Our mattresses were worn out. We were really bothered by the diaper issues. We were running short of food, but we greatly appreciate your support through all the donations you've rendered back to Crystal Children's Center. We appeal to other bodies and institutions out there or other companies within the fraternity in Uganda to as well come on board and support all different children's homes around Uganda. The children we serve or we take care of are the leaders of tomorrow.
So we have done some baby mattresses.
More business talk. Uganda is advised to look at the energy efficiency and e-mobility transition from a development point of view. According to Elsie, the United Nations Development Program representative, there are vast opportunities to create wealth and jobs if the country positions itself as a leader in innovations. Dennis and Juma have this particular story.
So we have been largely technology importers. We import technology, we use. End user, we import, we use. We import, we use.
Uganda cannot afford to continue being a net consumer of innovations on the energy efficiency front, but should strive to be a supplier, argues Monica Musenero, the Minister of Science and Technology. Musenero made the observation at the E-Mobility and Energy Efficiency Conference at the Speak Resort Hotel, Munyonyo.
Whatever technology we have now, it was once very expensive. But once there is mass demand, there's a lot of demand, the cost of production goes down. So we are focusing on producing vehicles which help people move without you needing to own one. And the cost of you moving on a bus is affordable. It's much cheaper than you driving your private car. So we are trying to make means of transport which is clean, available, affordable, so that you can save that extra money and do some investment so that when the cars, personal cars, are finally affordable, you are able to buy one.
The event, organized by UNDP, the Minister of Energy and Minerals and partners, comes at a crucial time when the world is progressively transitioning to eco-friendly sources of energy.
And we also have estimated that in the transport sector, the transport sector contributes about a quarter of those emissions. And therefore, for us to be able to reduce our footprint, our carbon footprint, particularly in the time that in a few days Uganda and many other countries will be gathered in Egypt, Sharm el-Sheikh, to have conversations on climate change, the opportunity to go into e-mobility and talk about energy efficiency becomes very crucial in that conversation.
However, the issue that cannot be underlooked is the question of just and fair energy transition, particularly for African countries like Uganda.
We must have electricity energy supply. That one is a starting point. As we have been thinking about other fuels, similarly, the fuel for e-mobility is electricity. We need to increase our generation of electricity to enable us provide that energy which the e-mobility is now calling for.
As we get into e-mobility and other spaces like this, we also have to deal with the issue around fossil fuel and balance those as we move forward. And I think this conversation also comes together in many ways. So yes, we are also using this a way to say that, you know, despite the fact that the country is also pursuing that angle, it's also doing some fantastic and transformational work in that regard.
Analysts argue that it is imperative for Uganda to embrace e-mobility technologies such as electric buses and motorcycles due to the numerous direct and indirect opportunities in terms of the country's development pathway, such as the Vision 2040 and the National Development Plan 3 implementation. Dennis Igoa and Juman Samba for UBC News.
Now from the sports world, this Wednesday in the Rugby Africa Women's Cup tournament, Uganda will take on Kenya in deciding a Pool B match to be played today, 2nd November 2022 at the Mutesa 2 Stadium, Wankulukuku. The Lady Rugby Cranes and the Kenya Lionesses are coming to this game with 2 points after each defeating Zambia 36-17 in their first matches. The winner of today's game will qualify to the next round of the Rugby Africa Women's Cup and the Rugby Women's World Cup qualifiers.
The Lady Rugby Cranes and the Kenya Lionesses will go head-to-head in the final Pool B match and vie for slot in the next round of the Rugby Africa Women's Cup. Both Kenya and Uganda stand at level points after defeating Zambia 36-17 in previous games. The game set for tomorrow, 2nd November at the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku will also determine the winner of the Pool B tournament. Uganda's Mudola, who was very crucial in the game against Zambia and Uganda, scoring 21 points, is optimistic her team will put up a great performance tomorrow.
Kenya is going to be a tough one. We are not taking it for granted, and it's the important one. It's a very important match. It's the decider. So we're going to stick to our game plays, and everyone sticks to their roles and do our best and produce the best result as we can.
As the Lady Rugby Cranes prepare for the best, sports analysts have weighed in on the magnitude of this game.
Well, with the trainings the ladies have gone through, I believe they'll try so much to tussle it out with the Kenyan Lioness. Matches also, we should not give them the opportunity to look down, because over the past years they've been taking us to the edge of the game. So this time around, with the preparations and new coaching technicians who are there, yeah, we believe that at least we shall be at par with the Kenyan Lioness.
Yeah, this is a very, very important game for team the Lady Cranes of Uganda, because if you look at this game, we need to win to have a chance of going to the semi-final, and of which from the semi-final we have a chance to go to the World Cup next year. And what a better way to do it? We're down at home playing against our neighbors. Of course, we know Kenya, a very strong side when it comes to rugby. But we have the home advantage.
Against Kenya is always a derby between the two sides, but I think Uganda having got a good game against Zambia, And I think we can also try to look at that very performance we had against Zambia to pull up ourselves against our neighbors Kenya, and of course Kenya also had a good game against Zambia. So but as a Ugandan, I always look forward to see the Uganda rugby team win against Kenya and maybe progress to the next level in the Africa Women Rugby Championship.
The winner of tomorrow's game will also qualify to the next round of the Rugby Women's World Cup qualifiers. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Well, you can definitely look out for that particular conversation as far as sports and rugby are concerned later on in the subsequent news hours of the day. Keep watching UBC. It's been a pleasure spending this day, Wednesday, the 2nd of November 2022 with you. My name is Sandra Kahun, and of course from the entire team behind the scene, wish you a beautiful afternoon. Stay with us. God bless you.